Uh, Sorry about that. Hey, folks, this is John McCloud with Complete Nerd Authority. I know it's been a while since I've done my last show. I apologize for that. I just been doing my own thing. Been doing a lot of other stuff. Uh, but anyway, today I just want to go through a quick, just do a quick movie review on a couple of movies I saw recently. First up, Prey. Which is the latest installment of the Predator franchise, which is now available on Hulu. Um, and it was a very interesting movie. Compared to the other Predators, I saw the first Predator movie just like a week before that. But Prey was a pretty good movie, and it had a very interesting take. It pretty much traveled back in time, where back in the colonial days of America before it became the country that that we all know today. It was mostly focused on the Comanche Indians. Uh, uh, one indigenous Native American young woman, in particular. Um, she was basically the main character, the focus of the entire movie. You had I mean, you had you had different characters a part of that, and she was basically she was basically just trying to find her way as part of the tribe, as part of the tribe or whatever, um, just to prove her worth that a woman can pretty much that could be a hunter and a warrior just as much as the men in her tribe. And a lot of craziness ensues, of course, with the predator involved. They had some really good fight scenes, and it was very action packed. Um, and the predator, or the Uja, I don't know how to pronounce the predator's name, but the predator in the movie was looked a lot different, and instead of like pulse blasters from the side of the predator's shoulder, it shot speed like energy electric like spears um throughout the movie. So it basically tells you that it was definitely a lot more different centuries ago, um prior to the original Predator movies that we all know and love and became iconic. um of course, there was some sadness in the movie where, spoiler alert, where the main character lost her younger brother, um in pursuit of trying to take down this predator. And of course, they deal French and the with French colonists, with Frenchmen and um, English colonists, and whatever they get entangled into the skirmish with the predator. Um, so yeah, it was basically just circled around that, and it was pretty dramatic, and there was just a lot of stuff, plenty of stuff that ensues that the main character had to go through before she eventually kills the predator and takes it and she takes it home as a trophy, and then she's finally accepted and acknowledged that she that she is just as big and bad as a warrior as her male counterparts. So that was a pretty cool ending. But if you notice at the closing scenes, there was a drawing of the tribe, the Indian tribe, and more predator ships that was on the way. So that kind of left the door open for another Predator movie. I did notice there's been a lot of praise on the movie, and but they've also suggested that there's a lot of potential in doing Predator movies from different timelines, like from the feudal old school feudal Japan days where they had Ronins, samurai warriors, and whatnot. Um, Back in medieval times, where you had, of course, knights and whatnot. Um, Heck, even the cowboy wild western era. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potential there for them to explore different ideas from different timelines, from different not timelines. I mean, from different eras, from different eras throughout history and time. So I don't know. I mean, maybe maybe they would be open. Maybe they might be open into doing that. I don't know. I don't know. What do y'all think? Just let me know in the comments. Um, then of course you had I saw Day Shift last week on Netflix, which was a really cool action packed horror. It was an action horror comedy slash comedy type of movie that had Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg. It was basically Jamie Foxx plays this character Bud, and he's uh, this vampire bounty hunter that just kills vampires for money, takes their teeth, their fangs, and just sells it for money. And he's faced with the problem with the possibility of losing his daughter and his I guess you could say, a strange wife, as she said to him that she was planning on moving to Florida, and all kinds of chaos ensues. So he can find and raise up the money for her to not leave and for her to not to leave for Florida. So yeah, a lot of craziness ensues for him to try and find enough, trying to find the money, trying to get enough money to support his daughter and his wife, or whatever. And then of course he comes across the main villain, who is this Hispanic woman vampire who has a stake in the movie, and just a lot of craziness ensues. It's basically a cat and mouse type of thing where the main villain tries to find the Jamie Foxx's character Bud, and of course he's eventually finds him, and then you have a big conflict between those two. And one of the best movies was you had the where Jamie Foxx and of course I forgot James Franco, I think that's his name. Yeah, James Franco's character. They team up with these two vampire brothers, and they just went into this house, and they just went to town on that entire house, just basically just taking out all those vampires. A lot of people have just, and I did. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that scene. Just went in there and just did just straight up badassery, and just basically just mollywopped every vampire that they saw. Um, a lot of people, a lot of people are suggesting that those two brothers get their own spin-off movie. I mean, Netflix should definitely do that. I mean, they should definitely. There's definitely a lot of potential in creating a whole universe there. Then, of course, you see Snoop Dogg, Big J. I think it's either Big J or Big John or something like that. And of course, his role was just basically a vampire hunter, but of course with with Snoop Dogg's take on it, with his own swagger to it. So he was pretty cool. And then, of course, he had that one scene where he was just leveling up, just taking out vampires with his Gatling gun or whatever, and just and just mowing them down. Um, but yeah, I mean, I say that was a pretty good movie. I mean, it pretty much had everything I enjoy in a movie. It had action and some had action, horror, and a lot of comedy. And of course, Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg, they're no strangers to comedy. So if you like vampires and action and some comedy and whatnot, I mean, that's definitely your go-to movie. So I highly recommend those movies. So I guess that should wrap it up for me. I mean, that's those are the only two things that I wanted to discuss, that I wanted to review. So I know it's been a while since I've been on. Since I did my Saturday show, I just been doing a lot of other things and whatnot. So until then, I will see you guys next week. I will discuss a lot. Well, I mean, I'm usually spontaneous with my topics, but guess you I guess you guys will find out next week on my topic, or for my next topic. So I'll see you guys next week. Peace.